This is one thing I really think is important for us to experience before we die. Hi, my name is Abigail. I'm here to normalize these conversations and education about death and dying so we die better at the end of life. Let's get into it today. There was a book that came out years ago that I believe it was a nurse that wrote it, and I thought it was just really awesome, where they talked about the main themes that they came across when they were treating for their patients, when they were treating their patients. And so a lot of those themes were surrounding things like, not caring so much about what people think, maybe not working so hard. I forget all of the other ones really, because it's been a while, but I wanted to focus on one thing that I really think, it's kind of along those lines, but that I really think, particularly for me, was pretty salient. And that was really being able to experience being yourself wholeheartedly and really experiencing that and really getting to be at home, within yourself and in your body and within yourself as yourself. And the reason why I say that is because it is so normal and natural for us as we're growing up to be imprinted by our surrounding environments, by the people who raise us. And I was talking actually to a friend earlier today, and I couldn't just, I really think like this person is just way ahead of the game even for their age, but I couldn't believe just how much we had in common in this area, where we just always assume that, and had a habit of assuming that other people always kind of knew better, that maybe they were more trustworthy, things like that. And I lived most of my life like that. I lived most of my life just assuming that people always knew better than I did. And if I missed something, it was because of my fault. It was because I missed something, and it wasn't because maybe somebody else missed it. And it's not a blame thing. It's more of just like always trusting other people before I trusted myself. And that really got to be a problem for me, because I never royally screwed up on anything other than my health. For any of you who have known about my health and illness journey the last several years, that was a big thing. But that was all in the attempts to please others, to be a people pleaser, to try to do things perfectly. And really, I just kept distancing myself from what was really true to myself, and really facing and dealing with my own pain, really getting into my body, trauma, processing, all that kind of stuff. So I think if we have the opportunity in this lifetime before we die to really experience ourselves the most authentic way possible, really experience what it's like to be within ourselves safely, in a really authentic way, in a really transparent way, and also to express ourselves in a really transparent, authentic way, I think that is just such a wonderful opportunity to have. And I think more and more the generations that are coming up are more attuned to this. They're more in line with this way of thinking and way of being than people, maybe at least from my generation. I believe I'm Generation X, the last year of Generation X, because I'm 43 years old. And so, been around for a while, but it took me a really, really long time to get here, and I'm still working on it. I'm massive work in progress. I think like everybody is. I mean, that is a fair point to say, and hopefully we are continuing to, develop ourselves. And because I think the more we develop ourselves, the more we become ourselves and become truer to ourselves, the more intimate we are with ourselves, then the more intimate we are in our relationships and in our lives and in the present moment. So I really think all of that has to do with adding to our quality of life. And I really hope that for everybody. Of course, there are these real, practical things like, not working so hard, going after your dreams, all those kinds of things. Going after dreams kind of goes along with really experiencing and expressing yourself authentically. But for me, I feel like at the core of it all is really being true to yourself, because if we are really, even if we're a little bit afraid, if we remain true to ourselves, then we are not going to worry so much about what people think about us. We're not going to worry so much about whether or not we're working hard enough or pursuing the right career, things like that. So this is my hope for all of us before that one day happens where we die. And I'm just wishing you the most authentic, the most loving type of relationship with yourself, and that it can translate to, really healthy and fulfilling relationships outside of yourself as well. And not only relationships with people, but with other things in your life, where you're living, the areas that you're experiencing, this planet, and your relationship with life, and then also with death. We all deserve all that good stuff. Anyway, my name's Abigail, here to normalize these conversations and education about death and dying so we die better at end of life. Thank you so much for tuning in. We'll talk to you soon. More to come.